Welcome back! Just to refresh your memory of what happened in the previous chapter, we discovered that at least 3 train passengers are connected to the Daisy Armstrong case. They are Mr. McQueen, Mrs. Andrigny, and the Princess Dragomirov. Mr. McQueen has admitted to us that his father was a DA in the case of Daisy Armstrong. Mrs. Andrigny is the sister of Sonia Armstrong, who's Daisy's mother, and the princess is Sonia Armstrong's godmother. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't believe in coincidences like that. Also, this part is almost twice as long because chapter 7 was very short, and there won't be a part next Saturday because I'm halfway across the world visiting family. So this way you won't lose content, but you will have to wait a week. I'm sorry. Now, let's see if we can figure out who got away with murder.
4 long years passed without anything new. Every day I looked at the evidence board I put up in my apartment bedroom. Then this morning, a police report landed on my desk that changed everything. I paid a visit to the police property room and took home a box full of clues. There was his name. Michael Clark.
The death of Michael Clark. Start investigation. Interesting. So we... a mustache already. Is that my first one?
Help yourself, Joanna. You earned it.
1 of 1. Really? Let me check that. Yes, just 1. That was easy, so I don't have to worry about mustaches in this chapter. Or is this maybe a real short chapter? Where are we? Is this your home, Joanna? You did not tell us. Well, the game shows us this box, so I think we have to check this out.
A bill from the power company with, I'm sure, plenty of excuses why my rates keep going up.
Why is this interesting? Travel.
Travel. For the discriminating traveler. Also for the overworked detective who never seems to have time for a vacation. Well, I can dream, can't I?
It's not gonna be a vacation on the Orient Express. This is our Italian guy. Our spokesman, famed race car driver Antonio Foscarelli, will make the journey on the Orient Express. Fortuna is delighted to be an official sponsor. Did he tell us that? I don't think he did. Case file. Kidnapping. Is this another case?
Years of no new leads in the Armstrong case. And then this. Michael Clark. The sarcastic reporter, my prime suspect in the kidnapping, murdered 4 years ago? This is Michael Clark?
Yeah, we saw Richard.
He doesn't look anything like the journalist I interviewed.
Whoops, the game is...
Michael, you have earned a place on my evidence board.
The game is acting weird. I don't know what's going on. Do I need to restart it? Something's wrong. All of the important clues you found are automatically added to the evidence board on the wall. You can consult them at any time by selecting the evidence board. Yeah, I want to do that because you lagged very badly and I didn't even read this. Can I now? So I don't know if that's the game or if it's my internet or something, but I'll read it like this. The body of investigative reporter Michael Clark was found buried in his Boston backyard. Clark was killed by a single shot to the chest. State of decomposition suggests an estimated date of death and burial fall 2018. So did Richard kill him and then use his identity for the kidnapping? Which seems kinda taking it a bit far. But could be. Well, there's a lot in here. What's this? Abduction cabin. Key ring with keychain. Alright. So we did find a bunch of stuff. This is the bottle of wine. We did see this.
The only fingerprints found on the bottle were Suzanne's.
Well, could be that she did drink wine with him there. She was there with him, with her boyfriend. Duct tape?
So clever. All that evidence, and yet no DNA found. Fluffy. Daisy's plush toy.
Also, why do I have all this stuff? I did not look at this, apparently.
The lab team found this keychain in the cabin, but they wouldn't have bothered to examine the keys once the DA shut down the investigation. The keys were just tossed in the evidence box along with everything else. It's too unusual not to demand a closer look.
Alright. What is this? It's a puzzle! Is it not? I think we have to slide this in place. Now what? Ah, USB.
A USB key. Let's plug it into my PC and see what nasty little secret it contains.
Yeah, let's do that. Good work, Joanna. But technically, I did this. So why did they shut down the investigation? Because they think Suzanne did it? I'm not done with this. What else is there? Are these bullet holes? I can press this. Why? Oh, maybe do I need to do this one. Just follow the pattern that's on there.
What do they call this? Brass knuckles? Knuckle dusters? Illegal in Massachusetts. Possession alone can lead to serious jail time.
Isn't it to stab someone with? Or something? You put it in your hands and then you can stab someone? I don't know. I don't own one, so... A key? To a deposit box maybe or something.
A key knife. They sell them on the internet for self-protection.
Do they? Never seen that before. There's a lot on here. Oh, do I need to press the order? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12? No? I don't understand this one. Wait, can I get a hint? I can't. I can just interact. A lot of puzzles on this keychain.
What do we have here? A flashlight.
Well,
They
not
can
really.
also conceal knives, but in this case we have lockpicks.
Interesting. Or do I maybe need to enter this? 3, 5, 6, 9. Let's try that. 3, 5, 6. Whoops, that's 9. 3, 5, 6, 9. That's it. It's a pill.
What do we find? A capsule and a smell. Bitter almonds. Cyanide.
She's kind of smart though. Maybe I'm not giving her enough credit. So I'm done with this, am I not? Yes, I am. A brush.
Suzanne's hair, so conveniently left in the cabin for us to find. It was planted. I knew
Yeah,
she was
to be.
innocent.
She is. She was, and she's not alive anymore. That's it, right? I think it is. If you see any weird cuts in this part, I hope you don't, but maybe you do. It's because my throat is hurting a lot, so I have to cough a lot, unfortunately. I wish it wasn't the case, but it is. A book? See, the game is acting weird. Moby Dick.
I've read it probably 10 times already, but I can't get enough of it. Don't know why. Maybe because it helps me sleep?
Alright, what do I need to do with that information? So I can check the board, they said. I think the game is acting weird though. Is it always like this? Sensitive?
I know I have to stop printing. It's bad for the planet.
Yeah, but I guess it's nice to have things in your hands. USB key. Oh, I already put it in, apparently.
Shaved off the Metro beard. But I'd recognize that smug bastard anywhere. The man I interviewed 4 years ago posing as Michael Clark. This goes on the board.
Printing. Len Franco. Driver's license. But he does look different from Ratchet though. Did Ratchet not have glasses and maybe a little less hair? I think so. He's from Boston. Money? And a tattoo. Would she comment on that?
Maybe they needed to show the ransom to someone, to check if the serial numbers were still on record. I'll print them, and on the wall they go.
Can't do anything with this one, no. First photo set. Oh, she printed everything. Alright, back.
Absolutely nothing on this Cassetti. His driver's license is almost surely a fake.
Oh, alright. I'm not done with my laptop, why not? I don't understand. Hi, kitty cat. What are you looking at? Nothing? Maybe a bird? What's this?
I don't have time to waste on magazines.
Oh, excuse me. Nothing I can do with that. Also very normal to keep the picture in your own... The cat's head here. In your own bedroom. So this is my case. There's not... I want to say there's not much on here. Connect two items in the board together to create a link between them and make conclusions about the investigation. Alright, so what can I conclude? Michael Clark I met 4 years ago and Cassetti.
So, Ratchet's real name was Cassetti.
That kitty. Driver's license. Michael Clark and Michael
I knew
Clark
it.
I met.
The faces don't match at all. They are clearly two different men. I should run facial recognition on my computer.
For who? For him or him? I don't know. Daisy, evidence of kidnapping, arrest warrant, records of calls, District Attorney McQueen. Yeah, because McQueen, that's also the guy on the train. I totally forgot about that in the previous part. He told me that. His father was the DA in the case, so he's also connected to the case. What's this? Suicide of John Armstrong? Did I miss that? John Armstrong. Boston shooting victim still unidentified. Would that be this guy? No. Autopsy report tattoo. Oh wait, I had a tattoo somewhere. This one.
This tattoo is the same on both pictures.
Is that this guy? So, one of the kidnappers was killed. Is that Noma maybe? Evidence of kidnapping and ransom? No. This one? No. Wait, I can inspect. Oh, I want to inspect this. Because, did I miss it? Colonel Armstrong returns to the Berkshires. Here is one of our community's leading citizens arriving back home from Washington and the Pentagon. When asked how his meetings went, he laughed and said, "Too many generals." Hey, wait a minute, that's our Italian guy. Told you he was faking his accent, so he is connected also. He's the driver. Well, he does have a thing for cars, that's for sure. But of course she won't comment on this because she's not on the train yet, because we're back in time, so she doesn't know him. But that's him though. April 2nd, 2019. Decorated soldier Colonel John Armstrong fought his last battle against an enemy he could never defeat, grief. After the kidnapping and murder of his daughter, he lost his wife and a second child in childbirth. Then the suicide of the main suspect in the death of his daughter deprived him of any justice. Facing an empty life in a tragic house, Colonel Armstrong took his own life. Many of his former command were on hand today for the commemorative ceremony, as were local officials and dignitaries. Alright, so I can expect this also. Kinda looks like it. Decorated soldier Colonel John Armstrong fought his last battle against an enemy he could never defeat, grief. But this is the same text. This is wrong. This is not supposed to say this. It's a mistake. Right, that's too bad, so I can't read about that one. Oh. Arrest warrant of Suzanne. I saw this because I had to arrest her. The record of the calls. Saw this too. This is Ratchet or Cassetti. The body of a man was found dead in the forest near Watertown, a suburb of Boston. Death was caused by a single bullet fired from point-blank range. The face was deliberately disfigured with a hammer, and a $100 bill was found lodged in the victim's throat. The serial number of the bill was identified as part of the $1 million ransom from the Daisy Armstrong kidnapping. Confidential. Seems like a message to me. Lot of text. Death caused by a chest wound left of the sternum between the 4th and 5th ribs penetrating the heart. A .22 caliber bullet was recovered, but no matches could be found in law enforcement databases. Victims faced 2 damage with a heavy, blunt instrument such as a sledgehammer to be used for facial recognition. No database match for the victim's teeth could be found. Tips of the fingers were removed, so no prints recovered. Surprisingly, a tattoo approximately 1 inch square was found on the inside of the subject's right wrist. Again, no matches in databases could be found. Considering the other mutilations to inhibit identification, why was the tattoo untouched? That's a good question. Does she comment on these photos? Not really. No, she just printed those out, so that makes sense. So I have to connect some things, but I don't know which.
The DA resigned soon after the Armstrong case. It haunted him just as it has haunted me.
Alright, but how am I supposed to know that since this text is wrong? This is all about John Armstrong, which is supposed to be, it's the text from this picture. See, it's the same, April 2nd, 2019, only the date is different. Or is that on purpose? I don't know. Do I need more maybe? Wait, let's just leave here. Because I'm not done with this, but I'm not done with the computer. Facial recognition.
Okay, the real Michael Clark has been dead for years. Let's see if the photo of the fake Michael Clark matches someone in the database of known criminals.
Yeah,
I tried this several times in the past few years, but came up empty. Maybe whoever he really is has finally made a mistake.
It's Richard.
That could be him, but he looks pretty different.
No, it is him. What has changed? Beard?
Yes, he seems different at first glance, but still it's the same person.
Glasses?
Nice.
Nose?
That's it.
Fake nose. What else? Forehead?
No, Joanna. That doesn't track.
But he does have different hair. The ears, the mouth.
I don't need
Oh, no,
Mr. Poirot
it's
to tell
hair.
me I'm wrong.
It's hair. I missed that one.
He's changed his appearance a lot. Probably had some plastic surgery on his nose, but there is no doubt it's the same person. Let's see why he was arrested.
Samuel Ratchet, arrested November 23rd, 2023 at Yerevan Airport in Armenia, in possession of stolen ancient artifacts. The 3 Mesopotamian statuettes were confiscated and placed under sequestration. What does that word even mean? Sequestration by the court. The man paid bail. The trial is set for January 5th, 2024.
Mr. Ratchet, you didn't just steal statuettes. What recent information does the database have on you?
Collected objects. Collected clues on wall.
Oh, it's so frustrating. I have a name, but I can't find anything about him. But I know just who to call.
What do you mean you have one result? Who are you calling?
Robot Defense League, we are monitoring this call.
Hello, Braid. Long time.
Oh, Joanna. Hey, how may I assist you?
I need you to search the dark web.
Yeah, can you narrow that down a little? Cause, it's pretty big and pretty dark out here.
Could you find intel about a Samuel Ratchet?
Samuel Ratchet. Got it. Bad dude?
You can
They
say
don't
that.
come worse. Send me what you find by email.
Alright, hang on. Okay. Yeah, okay. Nope. And okay. Oh, this might be something.
Tell me.
We had to do a deeper dive, but you should find this interesting. Could be coincidence if I believed in them. Emailing details.
Domo arigato, Mr. Roboto.
We're here to save mankind. Oh, it's a cookbook.
A cookbook. Would detectives in real life really use other people for the dark web? Search email from Braid.
The Orient Express. I'm gonna print these tickets and put them on the board.
Hector McQueen made the booking. He is the son of the DA. He's also called McQueen. Does she realize that? This Joanna? F. Measurements. So there are 3 tickets, of course. Masterman, Ratchet, and McQueen. Arrival. Oh, they're going to Paris. Or we're supposed to. From Turkey to Paris. To France. So are we gonna go to Paris? I hope so. Alright, back. Have to put a lot of stuff on the board. Also, if you hear something, I am sucking on the candy because my throat hurts so much. So I'm real sorry if you hear that. I'm trying not to make it audible. And I'll edit it out if it is very noticeable, but just so you know. Now I want to inspect this. What is wrong with this? Oh, it does work. Arrested in Armenia a week ago. This is the same man. The ticket?
This is Ratchet's ticket.
And McQueen?
The person traveling with Ratchet has the same last name as my district attorney during the Armstrong case?
Yep. But he told us that already. Masterman. How would he be connected?
These tickets were all booked by McQueen.
So I need to connect this too. What else? I have hints now. But I don't... Arrested in Armenia a week ago, and this was... Where was this found? In Boston. And you? Also Boston, so don't I need to connect... Oops. These two? I cannot. Is Isn't that weird? Shouldn't that be connected though? So they're grayed out because I already made that link. And then the game says, no, that's wrong. So the ticket for the Orient Express from Istanbul to Paris, but I don't really know what else I should connect. You are also from Boston. It's all Boston. But why can't I connect these things? Give me a hint. Wait. It's not working. I want a hint. Come on. I'm pressing T, but the game does this. There's something wrong with this chapter. Should I restart it, see if it works better? I'm gonna try that. I'll be back in a little bit. So I'm back again. Let's see if this helped. It did not. No. There's something wrong with this chapter. I don't know. It's kind of a bummer, if you ask me. Let's see. My laptop is still not done. Hector McQueen.
I knew it. He's the son of my former DA.
I can
He
call him.
goes on the evidence board.
Personal assistant. Yeah, but he already told us that. What can I still do?
Mr. Ratchet, you didn't just steal statuettes. What recent information does the database have on you?
I can skip this. I don't know. This chapter's not working that well for me. It's kind of too bad. So he's on here now? Do I need to connect
Here's
the
what
dots?
Hector McQueen looks like.
Do I also need to connect him to this?
Hector McQueen is the son of District Attorney McQueen.
Yeah, but we already knew that. What are these notes you're putting there? I can't read those. Can I? Hector McQueen is the son of DA. Can't read those now. And hints won't work. Because the game does this. It's kind of annoying. Why is there a blue line here? Where did that come from? Oh, is that a
Goodbye,
hint?
Michael Clark. Hello, Samuel Ratchet. The man who stole your identity and your life.
Wait, I was doing it wrong. So it does give me a hint. This is the hint, the literal hint. Which is not a hint, it's giving the answer.
As Ratchet is alive, the dead man can only be Noah.
Alright, and Noah was her boyfriend? No. How do I connect that? But this is Noah who was killed. Wait. I can't ask for hints anymore. Am I done with this? I'm not. Or is the game like, you've asked for so many hints, go figure it out yourself? Maybe I am done with this, but I don't think I am. Because she won't leave or do anything else. Katie, help me, I don't know what to do. She says she doesn't want to read this magazine. Oh, now she does.
The Orient Express departs from Istanbul next week. Interesting. I'll put it on the board.
Is that what I needed to do? That's so dumb. Because I've already checked this.
The event? Some old train. But that face, that man.
Yep. Put him on the board. It's the driver. Finally, so that's what I need. I didn't have enough. Now I know what to connect. These two?
I know that face. That's John Armstrong's driver.
That he is. Wait, what does this say? We'll leave Istanbul next week.
Next week, a certain Edward Masterman will be on the Orient Express.
Yep, and he will be there.
Hector McQueen will be on the Orient Express next week.
And
Ratchet will be traveling on the Orient Express in a week.
Is that it? No, I need to do more. Maybe you? No, you on the train.
Pasquarelli will be on the Orient Express next week.
Alright, I think that's
Damn,
it.
Ratchet is taking the Orient Express next week. McQueen, the district attorney's son, is too. Pasquarelli, the Armstrong chauffeur, is too. It can't be a coincidence. McQueen and Foscarelli must have decided to take revenge and will undoubtedly attack Ratchet on this train. I have to be on the Orient Express to stop them.
He did not succeed.
And above all, I must stop Ratchet. But I
With
can't
what?
do it in Istanbul because there's no extradition treaty with the United States. Ratchet can never be judged in the US without an extradition treaty. I'll have to wait until he's in Paris to have him arrested.
Bad call, you won't make it to Paris. Alright, I have my tracks and notes. I didn't check them at all. That's what I'm realizing now. I have to find links between the clues of FOP Soft's case. I need one more. And what's this? I need a ticket. Can stay close to Ratchet until he arrives in Paris and I'll arrest him. Yeah, but that didn't work out. So I need one more clue. But I can't do anything with the board. What about the laptop? Oh, you're gonna buy a ticket. But it's full, isn't it, the train?
Every compartment is taken for this special anniversary journey.
That's what I
It's
said.
impossible to find a ticket. What can I do?
Sneak on board? Fraud or buy?
Let's find out who's traveling on the Orient Express. Time to call Braid.
Again?
Braid! It's me again.
I haven't found anything useful yet.
I need one last favor. But it's a big one.
Uh-oh.
Can you
Uh-oh.
find me the list of passengers of the Orient Express for that anniversary trip?
Hold on. Jeez, their IT is surprisingly good. Maybe because of the big event. I found the
event?
list, but they sealed my back door as I was starting to capture it.
Oh no.
Whoa, calm down. I got one name. Female. The name I got before they kicked me off the server was Stacy Johnson. Do you feel like a Stacy Johnson?
The question is, how is she going to feel about helping me?
That's one you'll have to figure out for yourself. I gotta go back to weaving my magic on the web.
You do that. Alright, so she needs this break guy to help her out because the case is closed, so she's not supposed to investigate this, but she is. What do I need to do? Find Stacy's contact and call her. Need to convince her to let me take her place. So if I had chosen fraud, would she just have said, no, I'm not gonna do that, or would I have gotten a different way to get on a train? Stacy. I didn't even read her information, I clicked so fast.
Hello, is this Stacy Johnson?
Who's asking?
I am a detective.
My name is Joanna Locke. I'm a police detective.
And I'm just an actress. Now what did I do wrong?
Nothing. I need your help. I need to take your place in the Orient Express.
Is this a joke? No way.
Intimidate? Let's do that. Let's see if it works.
I can get an arrest warrant if you don't cooperate.
You gonna pull it out of your hat? I've done nothing wrong. Lately. I'm
Lately.
hanging up. Goodbye.
Wait,
Alright, it didn't work.
do you remember the Armstrong kidnapping?
Of course I do. That poor little girl.
I'm a police officer. I have a new lead that may help me find her killer.
Wait, didn't they prove it was the nanny?
I have new evidence.
I have found compelling new evidence. I've reopened my investigation.
You know, I had my doubts about the murderous nanny. I played a nanny a couple years ago in a slasher. I was killed in the first episode, but it got me interested in helping kids.
Oh my god. So you understand? That does not help me. Let's say this.
Stacy, please. You say you help kids?
Well, I joined a couple of associations who are trying to help underprivileged kids. If this little girl's real killer is still out there somewhere, I'd do anything I could to help.
Getting me on that train will help more than you can imagine.
So, you want my ticket for the Orient Express? But I booked it months ago. I was
So?
so much looking forward to this trip.
I'll pay you. Make a nice gesture. Well, she kind of sounds like a girl who cares about money and stuff, so let's give her money.
I'll give you twice what you paid for the ticket.
You think I care about the money?
Whoops.
You still don't get it, do you? I'm hanging up. Goodbye.
Wait,
Alright, so that didn't work, so I need to make a nice gesture, but that sounds kind of lame.
Stacy, I can tell you care about kids. Here's your chance to help put this beast in prison for the rest of his life. Think of the publicity for those causes you care about.
A publicity,
about
that
the
might
kids.
work.
The kids. Yeah. All right. We'll do it for Daisy and the kids who suffer. I'll take care of changing the tickets to your name and send it to you. Get him. Make him pay.
I will. Thank you so much.
Alright, maybe I misjudged her. She seems kind of nice in the end. But she was yelling in my ear very loudly.
Stacy was as good as her word. I received the ticket. I called my chief to let him know I was taking my vacation time. I had coming. I flew to Istanbul. I was finally going to nail the monster responsible for Daisy Armstrong's death, Michael Clark's death, even his accomplice, and, I suspected, so many others as well. You know the rest.
Is that this chapter? That's very short. Yes, finished chapter 7. Here we are back on the train.
And that's how I found myself on this train. On Ratchet's trail. The rest, you know. My identity is easily checked with the Berkshire Police.
Thank you for your detailed account,
Detailed
Mademoiselle
account.
Locke. In addition to giving us crucial details of the investigation, you have made it clear that there are many who might wish to see Ratchet dead.
True that. Is she innocent or a suspect? She is innocent.
I know you are innocent. Your forthright testimony and your movements, or lack of them, last night eliminate you from our list of suspects.
I agree, without a doubt.
You do?
Another detective will be great help to the investigation.
Book,
Although my friend certainly does not need any help.
you are too kind.
Thank you for believing me. I'd like to help in any way I can.
Do not worry, Mademoiselle Locke. Already I see things more clearly. It's obvious whoever drugged you was trying to derail your investigation.
You mean
agree.
the person who did this to me is Ratchet's killer?
Likely.
Both Monsieur Michel and Fraulein Schmidt had the means and opportunity to drug you. While you get your strength back, I intend to interview them.
Excellent idea, my friend. All
Excitement.
this excitement has whetted my appetite. I'm sure Mademoiselle Locke won't say no to a good, invigorating meal.
What? No. I want to hear what the conductor and Fräulein Schmidt have to say for themselves.
It is my duty to ensure the well-being of the passengers. If Dr. Constantine has no objection, I will escort you to the restaurant car.
On the contrary, some food will do her the greatest good.
Well, I'm still a little shaky. Mr. Poirot, will you please keep me informed about what you learn?
You
do.
may be certain of it.
But I would like to eat as well, can I not? Who killed Richard? Yeah, but isn't that the question for the entire game? Not just now. Let's see. Interrogate Mr. Schmidt, and Mr. Michel. Questions remain, but at last I believe I am reaching the incredible truth to Richard's murder. Alright, but to be fair, Poirot already knew a bunch of stuff. Just not... He's right here. Just not that Foscarelli guy, which I did suspect, like I said before. And also I wanted to say, I rewatched my previous recording, and I kept calling that Princess Dragomirov Daisy's godmother, and she's not. She is Sonia's godmother, so the mother of Daisy, of the child that was kidnapped. She's her godmother, but maybe you understand why I was confused about that. So if you got annoyed for me saying that wrong, I'm so sorry, and I won't do it again.
All
I'll
that
try.
snow.
Are you familiar with the concept of entropy, Monsieur McQueen?
Oh, Mr. Poirot, I
Didn't
didn't see you.
you.
Entropy? Randomness in a system or something?
Yes, unpredictability. Even the best laid plans can go astray, thanks to something as simple as,
An
Snow.
unexpected passenger?
perhaps, or snow.
I wanted to say Snow. Did I not need to interview him? No, Mr. Michel and the other lady. But I don't understand that because I already had questions for them before and I couldn't ask it. Is this your room? I haven't been here, have I? Why do you have a train? What's the clock?
Book is a collector, and not surprisingly,
Oh.
he collects trains.
This is where Book sleeps with him. Oh, that's so funny. Oh, I would think Book has the nicest room of all, but he does not. That's nice of him,
Are you
though.
all right, Mr. Poirot? And Ms. Locke? Has she had symptoms again?
I didn't mean to disturb you, Doctor. Everything progresses satisfactorily.
I literally did nothing at all. But fine. I don't know what I was saying. I was saying something. I don't remember. Doesn't really matter, I guess. But anyway, we have to interview 2 people, that's what I was saying. I wanted to ask that Mrs. Schmidt before if she gave food to our Mrs. Locke, the detective, and poisoned her. Or at least I wanted to confront her, but I could not. So apparently they kept that for the next chapter. Oh, do I need to look for mustaches? I'm wondering. Wait, isn't this my room? It looks different. Is that because the blinds are down? Could be. Let me see. Do I have mustaches? 3. Alright, so I need to keep an eye out for those. So yeah, let's go find Mrs. Schmidt, who is right here with Miss...
I have nothing to ask them at the moment. I should leave them alone.
Oh right, it's not Mrs. Schmidt at all. You're right, it's someone else. Can I not eavesdrop? Listen to what they're saying. Hide behind the door, maybe. Guess not. Look outside and eavesdrop a little. No, I cannot. That's too bad. Where would they be? They're not in their rooms, are they? Because... Oh, she's right here.
Good evening, Fräulein Schmidt. May I disturb you for a moment?
You asked so politely, mein Herr, but I do not think I have a choice.
You do not? He does ask very politely. I would not. How to approach the subject of Mrs. Locke? You drugged her. Let's say this.
I wanted to let you know that your roommate, Mademoiselle Locke, is awake.
Ah, yes, I'm glad to hear that. I
Are
was
you?
worried about her. Did she tell you what had happened to her?
She did. Saw you drug her. That's not true at all.
Unfortunately, she doesn't remember much, but we found a residue of a sleeping pill in her cup of tea. Since you two were alone together in your room when she drank it, who else but you could have dragged her?
Yes,
Must I
explain
point
that.
out I do not make the tea on this train? You should question the conductor or the kitchen staff.
How to make her confess. She almost died. You have sleeping pills. Does she have sleeping pills? Wait, does she? I don't remember that. Let's see this.
Mademoiselle Locke could have died. Whoever drugged her must not feel any empathy for their fellow human beings, given the dose that Mademoiselle Locke ingested. She was close to death.
Oh my God. What did I do? I
Oh, you
didn't
did
want
do
to
it.
hurt her. Just have her sleep for a few hours while we had time.
We? Time for what? Time for what, Madame Schmidt?
You think I feel nothing? Nothing? That poor, poor little girl.
Indeed, that poor, poor little girl. Fräulein Schmidt is somehow connected to the Armstrong case.
They are all connected. What could be the link? Let me see. Ladies' companion to Sonia Armstrong. Armstrong's cook. Princess Dragomirov's cook. This isn't a close enough link is what I think. Maybe she's the Armstrong's cook?
That's the right answer. Fräulein Schmidt, I have a certain reputation for
Sniffing out.
sniffing out.
I am not a murderer.
Forgive me, but I was going to say brilliant chefs. You were the Armstrong family's cook, were you not?
But yes, I was the cook of that lovely, lovely family. I'm sorry, but I must ask you to give me some time to collect myself. It wasn't supposed to be like this, my darling, my poor darling child.
I will give you that time, Fräulein. You have given me much more in exchange.
Has
I
she
must
though?
check in with my other suspects to make certain I have all the pieces of the puzzle in my possession.
What does that mean? Does that mean you're already ready to solve the case? Are you? Because I'm not. Alright, and also we're in chapter 8, and I've read online there are 13 chapters, I believe, so we're only halfway. So if you're gonna solve the case right now, what are you gonna do the rest of the time? Do I need to speak with him?
Can I get you something, Monsieur Poirot? Everyone is so tense.
It is a mustache
An
behind him.
aperitif soon, Monsieur Fauchet, with pleasure, when the matter is resolved.
Did you see that? I saw it. Zooming in, over here. That's the
You
first
can
one.
never have too many of these.
I have 25 out of 40 and I missed one. So if you've collected them all, you would have 26 by now. The first one I missed was on the train station, I believe. Why can I keep looking outside? Why is that? I keep thinking someone's gonna run by with a knife or something. But that doesn't happen. So I've also checked the little digging because I like to. They're here eating.
You're right, Mr. Book. This dessert is delicious. I'm glad we didn't wait for dinner.
I promise the entrée will be superb as well.
Detective Locke, you are recovering well, I see.
Yes, I should be helping with the investigation. Do you know who drugged me?
I
It
do.
is early yet for conclusions. When I return, then we shall see.
Do not worry, Poirot. She is in good hands. Hotaru, Freya, and yours truly,
Yours truly.
are looking after her.
Yeah, he's good at that at least. He's a very fine, a very good host. And also, Poirot, you said you would share everything with her. You know that Mrs. Smith drugged her. She just confessed to that, but I guess you're not sharing that. So what I wanted to say is that the Armstrong case, the family case, is based on a real story. He's cooking. But it's not as dramatic in real life as it is in this story, or book, or whatever you want to call it. They did kidnap a child, and they did suspect the nanny, and the nanny committed suicide. That's all real. The mother and father, however, did not die. A mustache. I almost didn't see that, it was just hanging there.
Come to Poirot, my exquisitely sculpted friend.
And also, I don't know why I'm looking at this fridge, because I'm talking and I'm just doing other stuff without thinking.
Not now. Not now. I have a dinner to prepare. Would you
Excuse
interrupt
me.
Michelangelo or Da Vinci?
Did I not say he was arrogant? So, yeah, it's based on a real story. A famous story, a famous real life event. I forgot the name. I can go here, 301. Oh, this is where Mr. Michel is. The Lindbergh kidnapping, I think it was
Good
called.
evening, Michel. Am I bothering you? You seem stressed.
With everything that's going on, I must admit it's difficult to be relaxed.
Of course, I understand. Especially since we know that Detective Locke's tea was drugged before it was served to her.
Detective?
Those
Come
eyes.
now, Michel. Surely you would have taken the opportunity to search her things and found her badge. Luckily, she woke up and was finally able to tell us her story.
Hotaru boiled the water, Jean made the tea. I just brought it. Sir, it could have been any of the staff.
Your defense is to accuse others?
Whoops. Who's calling you or texting? He knows Suzanne.
You have a network connection?
No, unfortunately. It's just an automatic reminder to pay my rent. I always forget and my landlord complains.
Pierre Michel had to be involved in the murder.
I agree.
The drugged tea, his post at the end of the hall, and now I know why I know more than one of those people on the screen.
I just saw Suzanne. Is he Suzanne's father? Oh wait, this is the detective. And is this him? This person on the left. That's Michelle.
Brilliant.
In the middle, that's Suzanne Moreau.
Fantastic.
On the right is gee, what's his name? Is it Hartman or Mesterman? Is it Hartman?
Good. That's the right answer.
So-called detective, so he's not a detective at all.
You are the father of Suzanne Moreau, Daisy Armstrong's nanny.
That's
My
what I
condolences on the death of your wife.
What? But my wife...
Enough lies. Suzanne does not bear your name?
No. Suzanne's mother and I were divorced. Suzanne kept her mother's name.
My most sincere condolences, Monsieur Michel, on the deaths of Suzanne and your wife.
This job, I loved them, but I was never there for them. Then, a year after the divorce, Solange became ill. Suzanne took her to this special hospital in the US. Got that job as Daisy's nanny.
I understand your pain, and the reason that led you to drug Detective Locke.
We really can't hide anything from you, can we?
Many have been foolish enough to
To
try
try.
and keep the truth from Hercule Poirot.
Yes, I admit, I drugged the tea. But it was only to keep her quiet until I could... But she reacted so much to the sleeping pills.
She was lucky, as are you, that she didn't die. To be frank,
As are you.
there is one more thing that puzzled me, but I think I understand now.
Tell me, Poirot. What's his relationship with Mr. Michel? I think they are boyfriends. Future son-in-law. No, I think this.
You have a certain fondness for Monsieur Hardman, no?
Cyrus is a good friend, and I appreciate him a lot, but it's not that. Cyrus was my daughter's
Oh, I was
fiancé.
wrong. Whoops.
I almost consider Cyrus as my own son.
Of course, much more is clear now.
What's it sound?
I have been patient long enough. It is time to go and see what all the commotion is next door.
I wouldn't be that patient. I would have been there already. Can I look at his stuff? So, that Hartman is the fiancé of Suzanne, but Suzanne was dating that Noah guy who died. I don't understand this. Was she cheating on Hartman? Why can't I go here? I don't know. There's nothing here, is there? Why can't I go here? Don't make me do stuff that are unnecessary. I wanted to go next door because there's a lot of noise, but I cannot go there for some reason. How am I supposed to get there? Oh, this way. What are you doing?
Monsieur Hardman, excellent. The gods who watch over detectives must have trapped you here.
Why didn't they watch over me? I'm a detective too.
Are you really?
I was talking to Michelle about a leaky faucet, and I wanted to go out, but you showed up.
No need to invent some preposterous story.
But really,
Michel has told me everything. You are the fiancé of Suzanne Moreau, his daughter.
Oh, I see.
Surely this is not a big surprise to you.
No. Suzanne was the only woman I ever loved. And I failed her. We got into a spat. It was nothing, but I was too proud to apologize. We weren't speaking at all. Suzanne never really cared for that guy Noah. She would have forgiven me. If only. If only.
If only. A common refrain between lovers who quarrel. Obviously, Pierre Michel and Fräulein Schmidt both drank Detective Locke's tea,
I get it
causing
now.
the overdose. No wonder she had so much trouble waking up. Time to report my findings to her and book.
Alright, so I jumped the gun or the bullet, how do you say it? That I was accusing that Mrs. Schmidt. A mustache! The last one.
Ah, golden mustache.
It's so dumb, I'm almost too excited to find all those mustaches more than finding the killer. What was I gonna say? I was too eager to...
I wonder
What's
if
this, a
our
cookbook?
master chef gets his recipes from a game.
When she wasn't the only suspect, so Poirot is right to be a little patient and figure out everything before you accuse people. So I have all the mustaches, don't I? I think I do. Yes, 3 out of 3. And what do you need to do? Because I did not pay attention. Alright, talk to Lock and Book. And also now that I'm thinking about it, it's obvious that Mr. Michel is connected because he's French. And Suzanne Moreau was also French. So that's the connection. Still, I don't understand why there's a stain here. Do you see that? The purple stain or blue? Is that a mistake or do we need to figure that out later? I've seen it before.
So, my friend, tell me, you have something new?
I do. Let's start with the sleeping pill.
Mademoiselle Locke, I know who drugged you. Fräulein Schmidt and our conductor Pierre Michel both admitted putting sleeping pills into your tea. This explains your overdose. They are relieved you are recovering.
Michel drugged a passenger? On behalf of the company, I offer my apologies to you, Mademoiselle Locke. Michel will answer for this outrage.
Both of them? I was pretty sure about Fräulein Schmidt, but I admit that I did not suspect the conductor.
Yep, they both did. They both had their motive.
I have uncovered multiple connections with the Armstrong case. Pierre Michel is the father of Suzanne Moreau, little Daisy's nanny, and Monsieur Hardman was Suzanne's fiancé. As for Hildegard Schmidt, she was the cook of the Armstrong family. What a coincidence, don't you think?
But it's incredible! What are the odds that so many people linked to that tragic affair ended up on the same train?
Very
About
low.
the same as you winning the lottery, my friend.
Yep,
I wasn't
it's
the
a
officer who
chance.
interviewed Fräulein Schmidt back then, so she couldn't recognize me here on the train. How could they know who I was?
There were other passengers who might have. Or she may have seen you when you visited the Armstrong home. It is now clear to me that some of the clues to this elaborate plot were staged for my benefit.
Really? What did they want me to believe? The murderer got on the train at Vinkovsky, killed Richard and got off immediately? He boarded the train at Vinkovsky, killed Richard and is still on the train? No, but this is true, so this is not what they want me to believe. In Istanbul, killed Richard and got off in Belgrade. I think this one.
My little grey cells did not let me down. Some clues and information collected so far could lead to a hypothesis. The murderer boarded the train in Vinkovsky, killed Ratchet, and then left the train immediately.
How did you come to that possibility?
Monsieur Hardman told me about a short man with a high-pitched voice who threatened Ratchet.
That's true.
Imagine for a moment that this man, wearing a wagon-lit conductor's jacket, killed him while Michel was on the platform at Vinkovsky. This murderer then hid the conductor's jacket in Detective Locke's room, then fled before the train left.
Why choose Detective Locke's room?
Why, indeed. Let me re-explain
Re-explain.
from the beginning.
Reconstitution of the false lead. Reconstruct the events of the false lead. This is funny. Yeah, they did want me to believe that. That makes so much sense. But also, I don't know if you saw my previous part where I said that I was confused about all the connections. Now you're maybe starting to understand why I was confused. Because they're all connected in all different ways and it's very hard to remember. The murderer boards the train disguised as a conductor, gets off. Pierre Michel gets back, leaves a knife, losing a jack button, stops. What's the first one? This one? Boards the train. Kills Richard, leaves knife, gets rid of jacket. Is it this? No. Oh, it is. Thought I was wrong.
Et voilà.
Mon Dieu! Oui,
Okay.
that must be it. Everything fits so well.
It's
It
not.
fits too well, my friend. Other clues lead to a second hypothesis, much more plausible.
What is the most probable hypothesis? And also that That book has been, every chapter has been like, that Mrs. Locke is so suspicious. She's faking it, pinch her. And all of a sudden he was like, no, you're innocent, I believe you. There are several murderers who escaped with no. Who wanted rich money? No, there's several murders all related to the Armstrong case. It's this one.
That was easy.
It was.
So, we have multiple murderers, all related to the Armstrong case. The murderer from Winkowski was a fabrication to turn suspicion away from those on the train. They expected the investigation to be led by some small-town official who could easily be misled.
Mr. Poirot?
Detective Locke, forgive me. You are an obvious exception. You tracked Ratchet with the tenacity of a bloodhound. Unfortunately for the killers, they not only had you to deal with, but now they had, and I say this with all modesty, the world's greatest detective, Hercule Poirot, dropped into the midst of their meticulous planning.
Multiple murderers? Multiple detectives? Poirot, please take pity on me.
Pity.
Who is linked to this case and who is not?
My poor friend, I have gone speeding out of the station without you. I will continue.
Alright, who are the 9 people we know are connected? I think everybody is. Michelle is. He is McQueen. Dragomirov. Schmidt. Ratchet. You are... Book. Hartman is... We don't know Hubbard, but I'm sure she is. She's connected. How many do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Are you number 9?
This is wrong.
Oh.
But I'm never far from the truth.
You're not. Wait, who else is connected? Westerman? Let me think. But not. Are you connected to the case? Is that what he means? Oh, that's what he means, alright.
That's the right answer. Fräulein Schmidt, Pierre Michel, Monsieur Hardman and Monsieur McQueen are all linked to the Armstrong case. I also know that Sonia Armstrong's sister and godmother, Countess Andreni and Princess Dragomirov, are on this train.
They are.
And finally, Detective Locke discovered that Mr. Foscarelli was the Armstrong chauffeur.
If we add Detective Locke and Ratchet, of the 12 passengers in that coach, 9 have a connection with the Armstrong case. What next, Poirot? Or should I say, who next?
Yes.
It is time to summon everyone.
Everyone? Even Dr. Constantine? The train crew other than Michel?
Dr. Constantine, yes. I will need him. But we don't want the others as witnesses.
I will see that their duties keep them occupied elsewhere.
Excellent. I have always thought this moment in a case is much like Rodin unveiling the thinker before a captivating
Way
audience.
to stay modest.
A work of art. Have you not felt that way, Detective?
No, Mr. Poirot. I'm happy just to slap the cuffs on him.
Well, there is some artistry in that as well, I suppose.
Where would you like the unveiling, Poirot? The lounge?
Perfect.
Then I will gather all the passengers in the lounge.
They have been eating a lot though. Look at all those plates. That's funny. I thought they were starting with dessert, but I guess not. So are we gonna say who did it? But this is kind of Poirot's MO. How do you say that? He usually gathers all suspects in a room and then he goes around and he says, you did this, you did that. You're guilty, you're innocent, you're guilty of this. Where do I even have to go? I did not pay attention. Oops. He's gonna summon them somewhere, but where? Did he say the lounge? Is that this way? And why does he not want the crew there as witness? Witness to what? What are you gonna do, Poirot? Solve the murder. So I am gonna solve it.
Monsieur Book, are the train crew locked in their quarters?
Yes, they are.
Then the stage is set for the final act. Ladies and gentlemen, I have gathered you together to hear my reconstruction of the murder of Samuel Edward Ratchet, also known as Cassetti. There is not one, but two possible solutions of the crime. I shall put them both before you, and I shall ask Monsieur Bouc and Dr. Constantine here to judge which solution is the correct one.
Two solutions?
Mr. Poirot, I am hardly qualified.
Nevertheless, your assistance is required.
Why are they looking at her? She's
Now,
guilty.
you all know the facts of the case. Ratchet was found stabbed to death this morning. He was last known to be alive at 12:37 a.m. last night when he spoke to the wagon-lit conductor through the door. His watch was found to be badly dented, and it had stopped at 1:15. Dr. Constantine, who examined the body, puts the time of death as having occurred between midnight and 2 in the morning. At half an hour after midnight, as you all know, the train ran into a snowdrift. After that time, it was impossible for anyone to leave the train. So, here is my first theory. The enemy, as Ratchet expected, joined the train at Vinkovsky by the door left open by Captain Arbuthnot and Monsieur McQueen, who had just descended to the platform. He was equipped with a wagon-lit jacket, which he wore over his ordinary clothes, and a pass key which enabled him to gain access to Ratchet's compartment in spite of the doors being locked. Ratchet was under the influence of a sleeping draught. This man stabbed him with great ferocity, 12 wounds in all. He left the compartment through the communicating door to Madame Hubbard's compartment.
Yes, that's so. Scared me half out of my wits.
That's what she was lying
Murderer
about. That's
thrust
true.
the dagger he had used into Mrs. Hubbard's handbag in passing. Without knowing it, he lost a button of his uniform. Then he slipped out of the compartment and along the corridor. He put the uniform jacket into Detective Locke's suitcase to cast suspicion on her. And a few minutes later, dressed in his ordinary clothes, he left the train just before it started off again, using the same means for egress, the door near the dining car.
That's not true. That's not what happened. That's what they want you to think.
That is the first hypothesis. But there's a second. For that, we must examine the motive for the crime. Why was Ratchet killed?
Revenge for Daisy Armstrong.
The motive is clear. Revenge, of course. Nothing was stolen, and we know that Ratchet had made many enemies. This was a premeditated crime, meticulously planned.
That it was. When was it planned? Just before the party? No, several months.
Since the kidnapping and death of little Daisy Armstrong, which traumatized many people close to the family. Even when the police concluded that it was Suzanne Moreau, questions remained. Detective Locke continued her investigation, as did others. They became convinced the truth lay elsewhere. We now know who the real murderer of Daisy is.
Ratchet. Suzanne Moreau? Yeah, let's say that. No,
It
Ratchet.
is clear now that Daisy's killer was Ratchet, also known as Cassetti and Michael Clark and how many other names. But of course, many of you have known this for a long time.
That's
It is
true.
obvious that the 12 stab wounds are not a random number.
No.
Dr. Constantine's
suspects.
analysis revealed that some stab wounds appeared to have been caused by a right-handed attacker. Others indicated the knife wielder was left-handed. Some wounds were deep, more than one fatal, yet others were not much more than mere scratches. What can explain these discrepancies? This leads us to an obvious conclusion. They are symbolic.
What do they symbolize? A jury. That's it.
12 stabs. 12! The same number as a trial jury in the United States. But not just a jury of 12 members condemning him to death.
No, 12 victims.
But 12 executioners as well. This self-appointed jury had meticulously planned for everything except
Snow.
And me.
snow. The avalanche that stopped us, as well as the presence of not one but 2 detectives on the train. They had to improvise, to hastily add clues and false leads.
What about the red kimono? Yes, this is weird.
This woman in a red kimono does not exist. I don't know which of the passengers it was. It does not really matter. It was just a performance, a charade to introduce another possible culprit to muddy the waters.
Right, and who said she saw that kimono? That Mary Debenham. I think I have to say all this.
The time on Ratchet's broken watch was deliberately set to conceal the true time of the crime.
Yeah, I believe that to be true.
The vial of vaping liquid incriminated Captain Arbuthnot. However, he had a solid alibi confirmed by Monsieur McQueen. Impossible then to suspect him.
So why was it there then? I think, how many passengers are there? Are there 12 or more? Because if there are 12, then everybody's guilty.
The conductor's jacket, found in Detective Locke's suitcase, was put there only to cast suspicion upon her.
That it was.
All these false leads were intended for me.
But I am Poirot.
But I am Poirot. I
Greatest
understood
detective.
the truth. We have a train full of suspects. It's time to identify who the real culprits are. Let's start
It's
with
everyone.
Detective Locke.
Did she stab him? No. I don't believe that. Oh, I have to choose again? What is the proof that clears her? She's a detective, she was drugged.
Planting the conductor's jacket in her suitcase was an attempt to implicate Detective Locke, but she couldn't fake her drugged condition. Dr. Constantine can testify that the drugged tea incapacitated her for hours, and she had 2 relapses.
Yes,
Let us
that's
move on
true.
to Monsieur McQueen. When I told him about Cassetti, he looked very surprised that I managed to make the connection between him and the Armstrong case. He told me, "But I thought we had..." I think he meant...
Wait, did he not say that he was connected to me? We had already arrested the culprit. I thought we had eliminated all clues. How am I supposed to know what he meant? I don't even remember what he said. I don't know.
You thought you didn't leave any real clues linking the murder to the Armstrong kidnapping. Moreover, you insisted that Ratchet did not speak French when you knew I had heard a voice calling out in French that was supposed to be Ratchet.
I think he did, but I'm not sure about him. What implicates him? His father? Torn photo. Do they mean the photo of that stuffed animal? I think this.
You took some pleasure in leaving me false clues, I think. It was quite annoying.
Annoying.
But you told me yourself that your father was the district attorney who handled the Armstrong case.
The case haunted my father. At first, he believed Suzanne Moreau had helped her boyfriend, Noah, to kidnap Daisy, even though there were questions that went unanswered, and a young policewoman refused to let it go, continuing to find discrepancies, but never enough to reopen the official investigation.
That policewoman
Sits
sits
there.
there. Her name is Joanna Locke.
Then tell him. Tell him how in the end my father believed you, how he resigned a job that he loved, racked with guilt that he may have let that monster go free. He died young, broken, his faith in justice broken. That's what Ratchet did to him.
Thank you for your honesty, Monsieur McQueen. Your father is one more victim of the man who called himself Ratchet.
So I was right.
Now, I will turn to Ratchet's valet, Monsieur Masterman.
Oh, I don't know this. I don't. I mean, he was being suspicious with his toothache, but he can also just be a bit naggy. I don't know this. Did he stab him? AD. I don't think he did. I'm gonna say no, but I don't know if that's right.
No, Poirot. Remember Ratchet's sleeping pills.
Oh, so he did. So Poirot does help me, so I was right about the other ones. What implicates him? The sleeping pills, you just said that.
Ratchet sensed danger close to him and naturally wanted to stay away.
Oh, right.
You gave him sleeping pills without his knowledge.
I remember
Once
now.
he was sound asleep, you could do what you had to do in peace.
Sir, I'll tell you the truth. I was Colonel Armstrong's adjutant in the war, sir. And afterwards, I was his valet in New York. I'm afraid I concealed the fact this morning. It was very wrong of me, sir, but I knew how suspicious it would look.
That it
Is
does.
that all you have to say?
That's all, sir.
So you're not confessing?
Now, to leave no suspicious stone unturned,
Monsieur Book.
let us move on to Monsieur Book.
What?
Me?
Me?
A suspicious
Suspicious
stone? No, he did not. What is the proof that clears him? Found me a room on the train. Yeah, why would he do that?
Look, my friend, of course you are not guilty. You did everything you could to get me on this train. What madness would cause you to ensure, and I speak with all modesty, that the best detective in the world could be present to witness your crime?
But doesn't our friendship count as well?
A
Most
little.
assuredly, but a murderer can wear all sorts of masks, including friendship. Let
Sure,
us
I guess.
consider our ever-efficient wagon-lit conductor, Pierre Michel.
Who is guilty? It's so funny because every time Poirot says in all modesty and then he says something that's not modest at all. You did do it. And you are the father of Miss Moreau.
No,
That's why.
that is his motive.
Oh.
I need real, tangible proof.
I did not read it. But he did drug Mrs. Locke.
Your admission that you drugged Detective Locke immediately incriminates you. But the murder could not have been possible without your very capable assistant.
That's true.
Your knowledge of train procedures made the murder possible, and your position in the corridor of the train allowed you to be the perfect alibi for several passengers. And your motive? Suzanne Moreau, Daisy Armstrong's poor nanny, who was wrongly accused and committed suicide, was your daughter.
C'est un foiré. He got what he deserved. My poor daughter has finally been avenged. My Suzanne. My child.
Let's move on now to Monsieur Hardman, one of 3 detectives on this train.
Oops. That did the game did this on its own because my mouse is there. I want to see this. What implicates him? Mr. Michel's testimony? I think so.
Monsieur Hardman, I think you are a real detective. But you were never hired by Ratchet. Your alibi was that you were watching the corridor to protect Ratchet, which, of course, you never did.
You never did.
You protected Pierre Michel. However, we just saw that his alibi doesn't hold up, so neither does yours.
I don't know about the conductor.
Being Suzanne's fiancé, you had a substantial motive to punish Ratchet.
True
You
that.
used your detective skills, just as Detective Locke did, to hunt him down and finally avenge the death of your beloved.
That's right, Mr. Poirot. I do have some detective skills.
I never doubted it.
That's kind of confessing.
Now, Fräulein Schmidt, the lady's maid with the soul of a cook.
Also guilty. She did. What implicates her? She lied about the handkerchief. She drugged Mrs. Locke.
Fräulein Schmidt, you told me of your remorse for drugging Detective Locke. I believe you are sincere. However, as the cook of the Armstrong family, you experienced the drama from within. The death of Daisy, then Sonia Armstrong, who died in childbirth, and finally, Suzanne and John Armstrong.
So much misfortune in that poor family. The death of this criminal is only justice.
That's also confessing.
Let us move on to Countess Andrény. I was impressed by the earnestness of her husband when he swore to me solemnly on his honor that his wife never left her compartment that night.
So did he do it?
Should I believe it?
Did she stab him? I think she did, though.
Even if it seems logical, it's more complicated than that. I believe Countess Andrény.
Alright, so she did not? What clears her? Too weak to stab.
Countess Andrény is young and fit, physically quite capable of stabbing Ratchet. The problem must be somewhere else.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought because she had vertigo. Morally incapable? Or she's the sister? Why would that clear her?
Countess Andrény, being Sonia Armstrong's sister, you had every reason in the world to want to avenge her. But you were incapable of stabbing someone, even after what he had done to you and your family. The night of the crime, you simply took a sleeping pill. I appreciate the irony that nearby, Detective Locke was also in a drugged sleep. When you awoke, you thought the nightmare was over.
Rudolph?
Hush, my love. Hush.
Excellent transition. I was coming to you, Count Andrény.
He did it. So he did it for her. You didn't like his face? No, that was me. He replaced her.
12 people, a jury. This was very important to all of you. If Countess Andrény did not stab Ratchet, someone had to take her place. And you, Count, the beloved husband. I've seen how fiercely you love and protect your wife.
Enough! I would do anything for Helena. Anything. Even that.
Yes, even that.
Another
Let's move
confession.
on to Monsieur Foscarelli.
Yes, I think he also did it. He was the driver. He's Italian. That's why. I noticed.
Detective Locke found out that you were the Armstrong chauffeur and that you planned to travel on the same train at the same time as Ratchet. That is what made her decide to obtain a ticket as well. Unfortunately, she could not prevent the murder.
No, she was sleeping.
Have you lost your tongue, Mr. Foscarelli?
Oh, Daisy. She was the delight of the house. Tonio, she called me. And she would sit in the car and pretend to drive me.
And you, Mademoiselle Olson, a champion for the immigrants, a worthy calling.
I think she also did it. Again, I'm not doing anything. I'm not even touching my mouse. This is just a game. But what I wanted to say is that Foscarelli, probably his accent is real and he's really Italian. So I'm sorry for if I insulted anyone. It sounded fake to me, but I guess it's not. I think she did it because she's reserved. She gave Mary Debenham an alibi.
Admittedly, she lied to me about Mademoiselle
that's wrong.
Debenham's schedule. But one lie does not convict her.
I guess. What does this mean, Mrs. Hubbard's latch?
Mademoiselle
No.
Olson, you supported Madame Hubbard's story about her connecting door latch.
All
a
right.
story that I later demonstrated to be impossible. So, You deliberately lied to me, and you also lied about Mademoiselle Debenham's whereabouts.
Enough! I can't take this anymore. I know what you want from me, Mr. Poirot. Very well. Here it is. She was my little Daisy, my angel, so patient. When I patched a scrape or took her temperature, that was my job. But she was so much more to me. She was a shining light in an ever-darkening world. I've tried to honor her by caring for children who have lost everything.
Thank you, Mademoiselle Olsen. You too shed light on your part in this mystery.
She was the nurse.
You were Daisy Armstrong's nurse. I will ask you no more questions. It is enough that you have admitted what I know to be the truth, and I understand. Let's move on. Dr. Constantine.
You suspect me? I know none of these people. I didn't know Ratchet either, and I've taken a solemn oath to help people, not murder them.
Alright, so maybe he is innocent then. And also, Poirot, you're kind of mean, because when I say I choose a lie with that nurse, and you say, no, one lie is not enough to condemn her, and then you choose another lie, and when you choose that one, you say, yeah, but you also lied about this. But that could have also been the other way around, so it's kind of mean. I could not know that in advance. I think he's innocent. What clears him? He's a doctor. His assistants? Books, testimony. Is that it, maybe?
You are one of the few people in this room not to have any connection with the Armstrong case. Moreover, your alibi is confirmed by Monsieur Bouc, whom I would trust with my life.
That is very kindly said, my friend.
We now come to Mademoiselle Debenham and Captain Arbuthnot, whose relationship was not in doubt from the moment I inspected your room at the hotel.
You have a bloody nerve.
You punched me.
Indeed, I do.
We're getting married.
Congratulations. But I would rather talk about your relationship to John Armstrong.
Oh, right. Lover? I think they were soldiers. Do I need to... No, one. Oh, brother? No, driver's Mr. Foscarelli. Lover's wrong, secretary's wrong, gardener's wrong. This could be... He was in the military, he did say that. It's right.
I'm right again. That happens to me a lot. Captain Arbuthnot, you served in the army with John Armstrong. What I don't understand is why a man your age is still a captain. One might expect you to be a colonel as well.
Ever fought in a war, Poirot?
It was war that first brought me to England.
Then you know what it's like. There's a shattering sound, and death, and mistakes, acting on intelligence that proved to be wrong. I sent a patrol to their death. Good men, brave men, wasted. John testified on my behalf at a court-martial. I'm not a colonel. I don't deserve to be, you bloody fool. But I'm also not in prison. John remained my best friend until... There, you have my story. Understand now?
Archie, calm down, please.
You're right, Mary. What you see in me, I don't understand.
Oh, Archie, I see in you what John saw.
Miss Debenham, I'm sorry.
My turn, is it?
I'm afraid so. And you have caused me quite a puzzlement. Your connection with the Armstrong family was not obvious. Then I remembered the job you currently hold.
Which is what? I don't remember that. Teacher? Is she a teacher? I think she is.
My little grey cells did not let me down. You were the teacher of...
Helena Andrenier or Daisy Armstrong. Probably Daisy.
No, she was the teacher of Countess Andreny.
Oh, but how do we know that?
You were the teacher of Helena Andreny. whose maiden name was Helena Goldenberg before she married Count Andreni.
Yes, absolutely. Why lie to you? She was an excellent student.
Captain Arbuthnot.
I think he did, if only because he's very aggressive. The liquid, he's military, Mr. McQueen's testimony. Who's McQueen again? Is that from the DA? What did he say about him? Nothing, did he? He's military, vape liquid?
No, his vial found at the crime scene was a decoy.
Yeah, I know, but...
You had one of the strongest alibis, thanks to Mr. McQueen. But his testimony melted like a snowflake. There went your alibi. Poof.
Poof.
Unless you have another one.
Nope.
As for you, Mademoiselle Debenham.
Yeah, I think she did as well. What accuses her? Mrs. Olsen's testimony? Arbuthnot, words at Istanbul station. Maybe this.
Yes, I remember overhearing Mademoiselle Debenham talking with the captain at Sirkechi station. She said, "Not now, not now, when it's all over." That's significant in light of what we now know, but not enough to incriminate her.
Right, I don't understand your way of thinking, Poirot, I don't. This one?
Mademoiselle Olsen was the only one who could confirm your alibi. I think you know where you stand.
Very good, Mr. Poirot. Are you satisfied?
I will be soon.
Soon.
Now I must turn to Sonia Armstrong's godmother. Princess Dragomirov.
Definitely, she definitely stabbed him. She almost admitted that to me already. She's left-handed. Woman with character. Well, if that's the reason to be guilty of murder, then a lot of people are in trouble.
Princess Dragomirov, you weren't on my list of suspects at the start, given your social position.
I left my social position in a cold country.
Do you object to being addressed as princess?
I deny people the opportunity. It makes a good story to tell their friends. It also guarantees a good table in the best restaurants.
Princess, there is also, forgive me, your extreme physical fragility.
It does not stop me when I must be strong.
Indeed. Of more importance, though, is the fact that you're the only left-handed person on the train. And the single blow to ratchet from a left-handed person was very, forgive me, weak. Finally, I'm afraid I know the alibi that you shared with Fräulein Schmidt is false.
You have been very thorough, sir. I hope you will permit me to say we are much alike.
I am honored.
Both equally arrogant.
Now it is time to end with Mrs. Hubbard, or should I say...
Linda Arden, that's definitely her real name. She's Sonia Armstrong's mother, the actress. And I remember saying she seems like a bad actress. So I think this is her.
Linda Arden.
Those eyes.
If Princess Dragomirov hadn't told me about her relationship with this famous actress, I might not have made the connection. But you are a great actress, madame. Your performance as a flighty, self-involved woman was superb.
I didn't buy it.
I never would have guessed something entirely different. As for what ties you to the Armstrong family, it is obvious.
It is. She's the mother of Sonia and Daisy's grandmother. Let's see, what do I have? Mother of Daisy, godmother, aunt, nanny. This is it.
Et voilà.
Dragomir told us
Mrs.
that.
Hubbard, you are the mother of Sonia Armstrong and Mrs. Andreni.
That too. She definitely did. Definitely. Not a doubt in my mind. Toilet bag hiding the latch?
Madame Hubbard, you really are a remarkable actress. You put so much effort into your character and into staging the murder. I saw it as a perfect mosaic. each person playing his or her allotted part, so carefully arranged that if suspicion should fall on any one person, the evidence of one or more of the others would clear the accused person and confuse the issue. Everything was meticulously planned. But you hadn't expected that Detective Locke and I would be on this train, and the avalanche would block it on the night of the murder. You had to improvise. But again, improvisation would be another of your skills as an actress. So you came up with the story that the latch on the door that communicated with Ratchet's compartment was hidden by the handbag.
I always fancied myself in comedy parts. That slip about the sponge bag was silly. Shows you should always rehearse properly. You know all about it, Mr. Poirot. You're a very wonderful man.
Thank you.
Even you can't quite imagine what it was like. That awful day. I was just crazy with grief. So were the servants. We decided then and there that the sentence of death that Ratchet had escaped had got to be carried out. There were 12 of us, or rather 11. Suzanne's father was over in France, of course. First we thought we'd draw lots as to who should do it, but in the end we decided on this way. It was the driver, Antonio, who suggested it. Mary worked out all the details later with Hector McQueen. It took a long time to perfect our plan. We first had to track Ratchet down. Hardman managed that in the end. Then we had to try and get Edward and Hector into his employment. Well, we managed that. Then we had a consultation with Suzanne's father. Captain Arbuthnot was very keen on having 12 of us. He seemed to think it made it more orderly. He didn't like the stabbing idea much. But he agreed that it did solve most of our difficulties. Well, Suzanne's father was willing. Suzanne had been his only child. We knew from Hector that Ratchet would be coming back from the east, sooner or later, by the Orient Express. With Pierre Michel actually working on that train, the chance was too good to be missed. My daughter's husband had to know, of course, and he insisted on coming on the train with her. Hector wrangled it so that Ratchet selected the right day for traveling when Michel would be on duty. And then, at the last minute, you came. For the rest of the story, you worked out everything, Mr. Poirot. You were right about all of us. What are you going to do about it? If it must all come out, can't you lay the blame upon me, and me only? I would have stabbed that man 12 times willingly. It wasn't only that he was responsible for my daughter's death and her child's, and that of the other child who might have been alive and happy now. It was more than that. There had been other children kidnapped before Daisy, and there might be others in the future. Society had condemned him. We were only carrying out the sentence, but it's unnecessary to bring all these others into it, all these good, faithful souls.
Yeah, what are you gonna do?
You are a director of the company, Monsieur Bouc. What do you say?
In my opinion, Poirot, the first theory you put forward was the correct one. Decidedly so. I suggest that is the solution we offer to the police. You agree, Doctor?
Certainly, I agree. As regards the medical evidence, I think that I made one or two fantastic suggestions.
Then,
nice of
having
them.
placed my solution before you, I have the honor to retire from the case.
End of the game. I'm kidding. It's not. So solve the murder. What now? And also they were all moving like the train was moving, but it's not. Is that really the end though? Oh. I thought I needed to do more.
I'm sorry to wake you up in the middle of the night, Poirot, but it couldn't wait. There was a detail that bothered me in my preliminary autopsy of Ratchet's body. I went back to examine the body and I discovered a wound covered by another. The blow I hadn't seen was delivered by a thinner, sharper blade. So there were not 12, but 13 stab wounds.
12 stabs for 12 jurors. It doesn't work with 13 wounds. The symmetry is destroyed.
It can't be one of the culprits who stabbed him twice?
Doctor, a different knife was used. There is only one explanation. Somehow, some way, there is a 13th murderer on this train.
We must tell Book. The case is not solved.
I knew it. Finish chapter 8. Thank you for watching. Curious what happens next? Subscribe to my page so you don't miss anything.